77 years after its worst recorded fire season, France is once again engulfed in flames. Since January, infernos have destroyed hundreds of structures and forced approximately 260,000 people to evacuate, while a breakthrough in the Gironde region enabled nearly 200,000 evacuees to return. Emergency services remain stretched to their limits.
In an exhibition centre in Bordeaux, the largest centre of its kind for those that have been displaced because of the fire. When it comes to the response, French President Emmanuel Macron says that the French people are standing shoulder to shoulder with difficult conditions, winds swirling. First responders say that this kind of outreach, this kind of support to assist crews on the ground is urgently needed as blazes continue to wreak havoc both here in the region of Gironde.
Yet that air support was severely compromised when the crisis began. Official reports confirm nearly half of France's 12 amphibious Canadair water bombers were out of service for maintenance, raising serious questions about federal preparedness. In response, President Emmanuel Macron repeated his stance, asking, "Who could have predicted?" the exact defense he used during the 2022 heatwaves. Critics, however, point out that climate scientists have issued explicit warnings for years. With Macron's approval rating now near 20%, even centrist allies preparing for the 2027 presidential race are notably distancing themselves from the Élysée Palace. And as analysts note, this recurring domestic vulnerability is directly undercutting France's global image.
Internationally, France has long positioned itself at the vanguard of climate diplomacy, from helping architect the Paris Agreement to championing aggressive European Green Deal framework. So really, on the European stage, it undercuts France's moral authority. It forces the government on the defensive, demonstrating that managing climate resilience at home is vastly more difficult than preaching transition targets abroad.
The governance challenge is compounded by a fractured National Assembly split into three uncompromising blocs. On the far right, Marine Le Pen's party criticizes the shortage of equipment, despite having previously voted for civil security budget cuts. On the far left, Jean-Luc Mélenchon is leveraging the disaster to demand an overhaul of the Fifth Republic's constitution altogether. The frustration is shared even within the government's own ranks. Prime Minister Sébastien Lecornu publicly warned of a growing risk that citizens feel disgusted by a political class detached from reality. As fierce Mistral winds reignite fires in the southern Var region tonight, the gap between the political debate in Paris and the reality on the ground continues to widen. With more than 24 candidates already jockeying for the 2027 presidency, the ongoing fires are ensuring that disaster management and state readiness will remain at the very center of French politics.